Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So today I will talk about a project that I'm personally very interested in. It's called Fusion, as you can see on my screen. So this is a project that it actually going to be a big impact into the space if they are able to cater whatever they are trying to promise. So I will look at the website later on. Let's look at what this project is trying to resolve. So as you can see, in today's blockchain space, there are three things which are very important. One is interoperability, another one is scaling, and another one is usability. So just for an example, let's say you have a friend and your friend is using let's say Android operating system in his or her mobile, and you are using iOS. And when you send a text to your friend, it basically goes from one system to another system without having any hiccup, and it's instantaneous. But when you talk about a blockchain, and if you have to send one token from one blockchain to another blockchain, for instance, if you have a token in on Ethereum, I mean it's an ERC20 token, and you have another blockchain, let's say Neo or EOS, and you have to send token. It's not going to be that easy. So that's when the interoperability comes into picture, where in future we will need such an necessity where we have to have that kind of an need. And the next one is the scaling. So as you can see, in today's traditional, all the application where we have all sort of scaling, whether it's a web application, API, CRP, or IoT, Internet of Things. But in today, when we look at the blockchain, it's not that easy that where you can have the scaling. Like uh, on a given day, when Ethereum networks get congested to send a transaction from one address to another address, it takes even significant of time, and you have to spend the money, I mean, in terms of on your gas. So scaling is very important in for the growth of blockchain. And the third one is the usability. Like, even though you see there are, I mean, I think we are about to touch 1,000 projects that are going to be made on top of Ethereum. But if you notice how many of them you technically use in today's world, how many of them are really usable, how many are them having a good platform where you can use. So that's very important when it comes in terms of usability. So these are the three important aspects of any kind of project, that specifically the blockchain, that we definitely need. So Fusion is one of the project that trying to solve these three problem, and these three problems are one of the big three problems that blockchain is going to face in future if we don't solve this right now. So as you can see on the diagram, we have uh, interoperability, we have usability, and we have the scaling. So in terms of interoperability, we have this all various sort of tokens. We have organizations, those are issuing their own native tokens. I mean, these days it's become very commonplace where they are using a utility token on their platform. And then you have a usability, like whether the platform is reversed enough to handle this many users. Like, we have, for instance, the decentralized exchange, like we have IDEX and Ether Delta. But can they really have this many number of people in their platform to seamlessly do all sort of transaction, and it is a user friendly? If not, then we really need to improve our usability in terms of platform is concerned. And then we have a scalability. And here is a one chart on the right hand side, as you can see, where the stuff that we do as of today's world, and if we have to do the same thing in tomorrow's world in blockchain, can we do that? So in terms of Fusion world, they define whatever the internet of information, which is IOI, is in terms of internet of value, which we are going to see the next one. So they define that whatever we do as of today, which is called Internet of Information, is eventually going to be an Internet of Value in and everything, whether it's a loan, whether it's a mortgage, or whether it's a P2P transfer of your money or a token. Everything is eventually going to reside on a blockchain. So that's what they are going to solve. And at the same time, what they have defined, I mean, their white paper is according to me, it's neatly defined. I have gone through the white paper. In their white paper, they have said they are trying to do two things. One thing is they are trying to define this protocol where they are defining the Internet of Value, where their core logic is going to be, and they are going to define one another one, which is called off-chain financial activities. That's when they are going to connect between the traditional world and the blockchain world, so which they call it as a crypto finance. So as part of their platform, they are coming up with the two types of methodology. One is Internet of Value, which is their core protocol, which reside on going to reside on a blockchain, their native blockchain. And another one is going to be a crypto finance, which is going to be the bridging between the traditional world and the blockchain world. So on the right hand side, as you can see, we have crypto finance, as I said, and they are going to they are going to do that interoperability, and one side is market and another side is programming. They are going to connect all this. And on the left hand side, as you can see, most of the item which you do in today's world, which is either it's going to be a loan or insurance or any kind of derivative, you have as of today, but you don't have the same thing in blockchain space. So they are trying to come up with that crypto financing concept where they are going to eventually get there. I mean, that's all sorted out. They think that they would be, again, it's not going to be an easy job. I know it's going to take a couple of years to get there, where you eventually have to have everything on a blockchain and seamlessly work. You need to have a oracle, a bridging block between a traditional world and your crypto world. Now, what kind of solution they are trying to bring into the space? So as I said, their core protocol is a fusion that's going to be a bridging between cross-chain. As you in the cross-chain, if let's say you have some application built on Ethereum protocol and some application built on Neo, or when we have a smart contract features enabled on a Bitcoin. I know RSK, they are working on smart contract on Bitcoin blockchain. So if I have to talk between one blockchain to another blockchain, right? So that's when the cross-chain functionality comes handy. And then a lot of organization, they will have their market, they will have their exchanges. In 2018, we would see a lot of decentralized exchanges are coming into the space. So we would see that, so that those exchanges, those platform will also be there. And plus you have those cross what you call cross data sources, like your stock price, your identity, that gonna bridge between these two space. So that's where they are trying to come up. And if you see on the right hand side chart, there you have all the features that they are trying to do and how they are trying to do. They have named it. It's all laid out in the white paper. You guys should just go ahead and see the white paper. It's kind of nice. And you should definitely like, I mean, I hope you would like that. So the next one is, let's take a look into their site, where we can go over their team, go over their token metrics, and all sort of stuff. So we have already talked about their vision. They are trying to bridge between the traditional world and the crypto world, where they can be an exchange, an insurance company, or the trusting or lending platform. Also, they can connect with the banking platform, where your banking platform is in traditional world, and your crypto world, they can be a building block. And yeah, one interesting stuff I wanted to go over. Yeah. So as far as the timeline is concerned, given their timeline, they are saying they will be able to put the main chain online. That is, it's gonna be live by Q2 2018, which means max June 30th, 2018. So I would assume that. and then from there they will. So it's, I mean, given the other project I have seen where you have a 1 year extensive timeline, this is not bad. I mean, they would be able to provide that. So which is a quite a good in terms of investment. I mean, you still have to wait, but in this space, there are a lot of speculative play happens. So given that, it's not that bad. Yeah, let's go over with the token matrix. The things that I liked and I did not like. So they have total close to 82 million tokens, which is a good. I mean, 82 million tokens. That means it's not like billions of tokens. I don't like a lot of tokens. So which is a good part of the fact. And most of the tokens are being divided equally, like 10% team, 10% angel investor, 10% community, 10% selected investor, and then you have a 25 percentage which is a voluntary investor. So I believe that selected plus voluntary is going to be ICO and the pre-ICO or the private ICO, I believe. So that's going to be 35 percentage, and rest of the tokens are being distributed, and it's going to be a proof of work and the proof of stake. So there are 30 percentage token are being reserved for that purpose. So the one that's going to be for public sale, it's going to be a very less amount. But I saw somewhere they are trying to raise close to 51,000. Yeah, 51,000, or yeah, some kind of ether, which is like around 50 million tokens. So they are basically trying to raise 50 million tokens for 25 percentage of the company. So which is like, yeah, 200 valuation. So I don't know. The concern part is, I looked at their GitHub code, and if you can see, it just created 22 days ago, and there is no activity. So I just don't know that they are working off chain. Whether we don't know that, but definitely there is no code, there is no activity as such that I have seen. So there is no code. That's also one of the stuff that I personally feel, yeah, I have a concern. And coming back to, yeah, team is good. I mean, the person who is the CEO of created, I mean, previously created Qtum and Wanchain, and there are other teams. I have looked at them. So team is good. They are capable enough to, I mean, execute such an impactful project in this space. But as I said, I did not see any code in the GitHub. But as far as team is concerned, they are good, and they have some institutional supporters who back them up. I believe there are some FAQs, and you can see their white paper. White paper is pretty clean. I have went through that, and it's good. So far I own, I mean, so far the project looks good. I mean, if they are able to deliver, it can be a next big thing. So that brings to the summary of my review and the research. So the good things that I found is the team is good, idea is good, it has impact on the space, and the white paper is neat and clean. They have explained what they wanted to do, how they wanted to do, and it's clean. You can just go and look at that. And as I said, token economics is, they're not trying to create billions of token, which I like that. The bad part is, i I did not find any GitHub code. And another one is, they are not the first mover. I mean, those who are in the space, they know there's a project which is going to, like, it's people are talking about this Wanchain is pretty much doing the same thing. So you might wanna, this fusion is not going to be the mover, but people are talking about this is going to be Wanchain 2.0. So just do your own research on that. And then another part I did not like is, they are trying to evaluate themselves as a $50 million for 25% of the token. So that I feel like it's kind of little bit higher range. That's the fundraising goal, and the timeline is still, their mainnet is going to be another at least 5 months uh, ahead. I mean, 5 months to go, and they don't have any code unless they come up and make the code public. So overall, the project is good. I kind of like that. It doesn't necessarily you have to like that. It's a very subjective opinion. So you can pretty much do your own research and see if you can like like the project. If you like the project, do put a comment, and if you want me to review any other project, you can put a comment below. And do subscribe this channel, it helps me to grow. And I will see you in my next one. Take care.